What is up, guys? I am here in full Mark mode. I got a Miz hat on, not a hat, but beanie, and some Ziggler shades, and I got a Ryback sweatshirt on, so I'm in Mark mode right now. And this will be my WWE The Year of 2012 video. Basically, I'll be discussing, basically kind of like the best of. You can call this an awards video, I guess, which I'm not really going to title it the awards video, but it's kind of like that. Just give my thoughts on like Superstar of the Year, Match of the Year, and all of that. But 2012, I thought this year was a eventful year. I think a lot of big things happened. A lot of memorable things. You had The Rock versus John Cena, Brock Lesnar coming back, the tag team division being reborn, a lot of new stars, breaking stars, like Ziggler and Bryan and Ryback going to the top. And you went the entire calendar year, without CM Punk losing the WWE title. So we went from January 1st to December 31st without a WWE Championship title change. That is the first time that has happened since Hulk Hogan when he was champion in 1987. Now that's impressive. You'll never know when you're ever going to say that again, so you better cherish this, people. You better cherish that. When that title reign's over, you just witnessed history. Alright, so it's amazing. But like I said, 2012, eventful, but not really nothing really huge happened. Product-wise, the product was decent, I thought. If I had to grade it, I'd probably give it like a D+, C-. I don't think the product was that good. It was like whatever. But this is the end of the video. Categories and description if you want to know what I'm going to be talking about. Maybe 20 minutes. I don't know how long this video is going to be, so. But yeah, let's get right into it. Now, first category, theme song of the year. We've had some pretty good theme songs debuted this year. I mean, we have Wade Barrett's theme. The one he debuted and came back, not the one at the Royal Rumble. Cesaro's theme's badass. The Shield's theme is really badass. Sierra Hotel, India, Echo, Lima, Delta, Shield. But there's one thing that sticks out as the best theme of the year, in my opinion. That would be Ryback's current theme song. I just think that theme is just really good theme to really get you invested into him. When you hear that intro, you know who's coming out. You know he's gonna kick some ass. And the whole song, just it's really easy to get into. It makes you want to bobble your head with the beat and everything. It's just a really good song to get you into the match and into the guy. Oh, here we go. We all know Ryback's coming out. It's just a really good song to get you pumped for it. Not just him, but for the match as well. So Ryback's theme song, Meat on the Table, gets theme song of the year. Next, Diva of the Year, easy. AJ Lee. She's on TV all year. She's done a lot of things this year, I believe. She was with Daniel Bryan, then she went to CM Punk, Kane, and Daniel Bryan, whole foursome angle. Then she went to GM, then she went to John Cena, now she's with Ziggler. She's just all over TV this year, so AJ Lee, definitely Diva of the Year. Next, Most Improved. I have to give this one to Daniel Bryan, to be perfectly honest, because Daniel Bryan went from basically not being very well known last year. I mean, last year he didn't do anything. Even when he won Money in the Bank, he didn't really do anything. From the point where he won Money in the Bank to when he cashed in, he was pretty much jobbing to people. I mean, Daniel Bryan is a favorite wrestler, don't get me wrong, but I honestly think he's probably the worst person to hold the briefcase. I mean, he really didn't do much with it. He was on Superstars more than he was on Raw and SmackDown. I'll just point that out, but I really think he's improved. He's all over TV now. His promos are awesome. His segments with Kane are just really, really great. And he's just very fun to watch now. Before, you had to watch his matches and be like, oh, this guy's awesome. But now, just his promos, his segments, and everything are just great about him. So Daniel Bryan's definitely the most improved in my eyes within the last year. So definitely Daniel Bryan's most improved. Best DVD release, another easy one. CM Punk, Best in the World. We saw some great DVDs this year. I mean, The Rock DVD, The Edge DVD, Raw 100, The Attitude Era. We've had some great DVDs, but CM Punk's DVD definitely is the one that stands out. And the documentary is the best one. The matches are great on there. That one just really stands out about all the other DVDs. And I think that was the most anticipated DVD of the year. So definitely CM Punk Best in the World is the best DVD release of the year. Most disappointing match of the year. Now, I know everyone's saying that Daniel Bryan and Sheamus from WrestleMania is the most disappointing match. But I'm not going to sit there and consider that because we really didn't get a match out of it. We just got a segment, basically. Sheamus just kicked him and won the title. So I'm not going to sit here and say most disappointing. Oh, sorry about that. I'd say, I was let down, even though let down and disappointing is pretty much the same thing. But it was kind of really, they really just did that? I was like, wow, I couldn't believe they did that. But I'm not going to give it to that. I'm actually going to give it to Triple H vs. Brock Lesnar at SummerSlam. Now, don't get me wrong, I thought that was a good match. I liked it, but they promoted that as a fight. You had Lesnar and Triple H come out every week and say, "Oh, I'm gonna beat the hell out of you. I'm gonna break your arm again. We're gonna kill each other." They got personal. They got Steph out. They got Triple H's kids mentioned. They were getting personal, and they were basically at the point where they were just gonna rip each other's heads off. Basically, like Lesnar did the Cena Extreme Rules. And when the match came down, it was a wrestling match. So I was like, you're gonna promote this as an ass-kicking brawl, but it's gonna be a wrestling match. How it turns out. So I was disappointed by that. I was really expecting just them beating the hell out of each other, but it was just straight out wrestling. So I was the most disappointing match in my eyes of the year. Most overrated superstar. By the way, all these are not being biased, or they're not being like what other people think. All these are just strictly what they've done in WWE this year. Nothing else. I'm just going off base by their accomplishments and what they've achieved in 2012. Most overrated goes to John Cena. Okay? I don't think WWE shoved him down our throats this hard since maybe like 05, 06. He was really, really getting on my nerves this year. Not just the fact like his promos and everything, just he main evented Elimination Chamber. WrestleMania Extreme Rules, I give those passes because those are main event worthy matches, so I give him those. Over the Limit, No Way Out, Money in the Bank, and he main evented Night of Champions, so I'll give him that one because that was the WWE title match. Survivor Series, give him that one, and TLC. So he main evented what pay-per-views? Chamber, Over the Limit, No Way Out, Money in the Bank, and TLC. Main evented 5 pay-per-views where he shouldn't have been the main event of. And not to mention, I'll go through his entire year, what he did this year. Had a crappy feud with Kane, which involved Zack Ryder and Eve. Lost to The Rock. Got his ass kicked by Brock Lesnar. Lost to John Laurinaitis. Had a horrible feud with The Big Show. Won Money in the Bank. Then cashed in and lost. Couldn't beat Punk for the WWE title. And he got involved with AJ and got his ass kicked by Dolph Ziggler. Cena's year sucked. And yet he got awarded Superstar of the Year by WWE. If that doesn't scream overrated, I don't know what does. So John Cena, definitely most overrated guy in my eyes of the year. Next, most underrated superstar. I'm not going to give this to one guy, I'm going to give this to 2 guys. The tag team, Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd. Those guys are awesome, and they're highly underrated in my eyes. You can give them 1 minute in the ring, and they'll put on the best minute they possibly can. I mean, their matches with Cesaro are freaking awesome. Those uppercuts Cesaro gave him, Gabriel springboard uppercut. And Tyson Kidd, how he just throws him like 20 feet in the air and uppercuts him. Those guys are extremely underrated. They're so good. They had a match a few weeks ago on main event. It was a handicap match against 3MB. They look so legit in that match. They look like they can take on the top tag team, or hell, they look like they can take on the top 2 guys in the company. Like if you paired Cena and Ryback, obviously they probably get their ass kicked, but they look like they can put on at least a good fight with them. And they're just very fun to watch, I believe, and I believe they should have had single titles by now. Kidd's been there since 08 on the main roster, and Gabriel's been there since 2010, so they've been there a while, and they haven't even gotten singles gold. They just gotten tag team gold, so they definitely should be IC and US champion by now, but hopefully that's in the future. So definitely Justin Gabriel and Tyson Kidd get most underrated for me. Feud of the year. This one's kind of hard because there's not a lot of feuds there's a lot of feuds, but they didn't last very long. Majority of the feuds this year lasted from like a month or 2. I mean, the longest feud I believe that happened was Sheamus and Del Rio, which lasted from Mania, the night after Mania, to Night of Champions. So it was a 5-minute feud, which wasn't very good anyways. But, people are giving it The Rock and Cena, Triple H and Undertaker. I don't give it to that because I believe those feuds went on for a year. Cena and Rock obviously went on for a year. And you can basically say Triple H and Undertaker went on for a year because it went from 27 to 28. So I don't think it's fair to give them to those 2. I will give this to Chris Jericho and CM Punk. I kind of don't want to give it to the feud because, they really didn't do much. I mean, I did like how Jericho got personal with Punk, and I really love when they bring personal stuff into feuds. It makes it that much more special, in my opinion. But, the promos they cut, too, were really good. I mean, the promo after Jericho became number 1 contender, I believe. I think it was the week after Jericho won the Battle Royal. They cut like a 20-minute promo, which was great. It was just, they put on fantastic matches as well. So I'm going to have to get to Chris Jericho and CM Punk for Feud of the Year. Next, Face of the Year. I'm going to give this one to Sheamus. I believe he did a phenomenal job in 2012. He was world champion for 7 months. He just really was interacting with the crowd, and every time he comes out, he's always pumped up, ready for the match. and Sheamus is just doing a great job. You know, him and Big Show, he looks so legit against Big Show. He looks really good, and I believe he gets a really good reaction when he comes out. When he comes out, he just gets a huge pop, you know, right away. You know, he won the Royal Rumble. And brought up earlier, he beat Bryan 18 seconds for the world title in Mania. I just believe that Sheamus was on a roll this year, and I think Sheamus was a huge part of the year in my eyes. So Sheamus gets face of the year in my opinion. Next, Mark Allen of the year, easy in my eyes. Brock Lesnar returning to WWE. I don't think there's really a moment where I really popped out of my seat and like screamed. Like I was in Las Vegas that day in my hotel room watching Raw on my mom's phone because for whatever reason the TV didn't have the USA. So I had to watch my mom's phone, and right when I heard Lesnar's music, I jumped and screamed in my hotel room. So that was just a really great moment there. Brock Lesnar returning, definitely marked out one of the year. Next, Tag Team of the Year. This is pretty easy. Team Hell No. The reason I'm getting the Team Hell No is because they've accomplished the most out of every tag team. Second place would have to be Primetime Players, and probably third would be the Rhodes Scholars, Team Rhodes Scholars actually. Doesn't make a difference. I don't know why I said that, but like I said, Team Hell No just accomplished the most. I'm always laughing at their segments. Their segments are always great. They put on some good tag matches. They've been put in high-profile matches. You know, they're in the Survivor Series match and the six-man TLC. So they're making the tag division look important, which I'm liking. And like I said, they've accomplished the most out of every tag team. So Team Hell No gets Tag Team of the Year for me. Best in the mic. CM Punk. I don't think anyone really topped him on the mic this year, so I'm not going to go into that. Heel of the Year. Honestly, I had trouble with this at first because not a lot of heels weren't on top, or they just flip-flopped, you know, from heel to face or face to heel. But Heel of the Year, I ended up giving this to CM Punk. I think the promo he cut, or when he insulted Lawler when he came back from the heart attack, that pretty much solidified him being Heel of the Year, making fun of a guy who just had a heart attack. So CM Punk gets Heel of the Year for me. I feel like I'm flying by with this video. I think it's a short video. I think I'm only like not even 10 minutes in. I'm probably wrong, as usual, because I think I'm like 10 minutes in the video and I'll be like 20. So, I don't know. I just feel like I'm flying by this video. Next, Show of the Year. Easy. Extreme Rules. I believe almost every card on that show was great. Just great matches top to bottom. The 3 main event matches were phenomenal. And just a great overall show. Second place, I'd probably give it to TLC, but Extreme Rules, by far, best show of the year in my eyes. Next, Promo of the Year. I think this promo gets overshadowed by the fact that Jerry Lawler had the heart attack on that show, but CM Punk and John Cena had a promo before Night of Champions with Bret Hart trolling behind them, and they just cut a fantastic promo. Cena was on his A game that night. Punk was on his A game that night as well. Just a highly underrated promo in my eyes. It's on YouTube. Please go look it up if you can. It was just oh my god, that promo was what really got me excited for their Night of Champions match. So definitely CM Punk and John Cena before Night of Champions. That's promo of the year in my eyes. Match of the year. Now I see people looking this at other matches. I mean, there's a lot of contenders for match of the year. You got CM Punk versus Daniel Bryan from Over the Limit. CM Punk versus John Cena from Night of Champions. The six-man TLC, you know, not TLC, but there's one match that stands out. Triple H versus The Undertaker at WrestleMania. End of the era, Hell in a Cell. Special guest referee Shawn Michaels. That just, the emotion, how the crowd was invested into that match, and the suspense watching the match. It just had the overall package, in my opinion, that every match should have, and that will get match of the year for me. I just was edging my seat. And, you know, the moment Shawn Michaels did the super kick into the pedigree, that was just, you didn't know if that was it or not. Just, that match is just, that's a perfect match. If you want to get someone in the wrestling, just show them that match. I'm guaranteeing that will get them into the wrestling. So, definitely that's match of the year. Not best wrestling match, I'd probably give that one to CM Punk and Daniel Bryan from Over the Limit, but the whole package, Triple H and Undertaker from WrestleMania, definitely. Next, Superstar of the Year, CM Punk. It's pretty obvious CM Punk. I believe this whole year is all about Punk, even though he wasn't the focal point at times. I believe from May till July, for 2 months, they really didn't care about him. I mean, I think he was on SmackDown a lot more than Raw. Well, he was on Raw, right? But they talked about him more on SmackDown and everything. But, I mean, he was WWE Champion for the entire year. He was, you know, put in these great matches, you know, like, you know, he was one of the first guys. He was one of the first 2 guys to start the Elimination Chamber and won the Elimination Chamber. You know, he was in Chicago street fights, triple threats, no disqualifications, Hell in Cells. You know, he was put in all these type of matches, and he defended his title like on Raw and SmackDown. You know, like every once in a while. Like I believe he defended the WWE title like 4 or 5 times on Raw this year, and like 2 times I believe on SmackDown. So he's a great champion. I don't care what anyone says. And this is just CM Punk's year. I don't care what anyone else thinks. That's my opinion. I think CM Punk definitely was Superstar of the Year. Then the last one, Superstar to look out for in 2013. There's a lot of guys I believe will make an impact in 2013. You know, Ryback, Dolph Ziggler, Daniel Bryan. There's a lot of guys, but one guy I think people don't really consider, who I think will make a huge impact in 2013, will be Antonio Cesaro. This guy is the whole package. He's a perfect guy. The guy on the roster. I mean, he's a huge guy, and when he's in the ring, he moves like he's Tyson Kidd or something. This guy has it. He is the perfect superstar you want on your roster, and I do believe Antonio Cesaro will make a huge impact in 2013. Hell, he possibly might be world champion in 2013. Who knows? But that's my video in 2013. No, I almost said 2013. 2012. I don't know how long this video is. 16 minutes. Well,